Hey, what's going on, friends and theme park fans? This is Silver Stix here for another Stix Top 6, where I count down the best and worst that theme parks have to offer. Alrighty folks, Walt Disney World Resort is built up of 4 different major theme parks: Hollywood Studios, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, and of course, the Magic Kingdom. Each of these parks provide a totally different atmosphere and experience from one another, and each are magical and fun in their own unique ways. And when they're all put together, they make up one incredibly long list of amazing attractions. We've even had 2 top 6 best ride lists and 1 top 6 worst ride list for the entirety of Walt Disney World, and it somehow still doesn't even feel like I've made a dent talking about the resort. So instead of keeping things so broad, I figured I would go a little deeper and show you guys the best and worst attractions out of each of these 4 theme parks individually. And if you don't know how a best and worst episode works here on Stix Top 6, numbers 6 through 4 are the top 3 worst, while 3 through 1 are the top 3 best. Pretty simple stuff, really. But anyway, without further ado, I present to you all the best and worst attractions at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom. Starting off our 3 worst attractions today, we'll be heading over to the Storybook Circus over in Fantasyland to take a trip through the skies with the Great Goofini on the Barnstormer. And at just a minute long, this junior steel coaster is anything but great. And first off, I'm just not sure why this ride is even still called the Barnstormer after they took out the part of the ride where you storm a barn. Now the only thing related to a barn in this entire attraction is where you board your ride cart, but hopefully you're a fan of that little barn area because you'll be back in it before you've even had time to enjoy the ride. I swear a majority of your minute-long duration is just going up the lift hill. And by the time you finally start your descent and you think it's gonna get good, the ride just ends. And on top of all this, if you're an adult with some, average-sized legs, this is just an insanely uncomfortable attraction to fit into, and you're guaranteed to slam around and at least say, ouch, once while riding this mess of a coaster. I just don't recommend it at all unless you're trying to get a good sightline of the Tron ride, or if you have a kid who's never ridden a ride before in their entire life, then maybe this is a decent starting point, but I still feel like this whole area could just be utilized for something much, much better. Climbing our way over to Adventureland, we'll be able to hike up and around the Swiss Family Treehouse. This attraction has been around since the opening day of the park back in 1971, and its age shows in the worst sort of way. There's just no real attraction here at all. You walk through this treehouse in the Florida heat, where you'll see and hear little references to the movie Swiss Family Robinson, which is far from relevant in any way. And unless you're some sort of uber Swiss Family Robinson fan, then I don't think you'll be finding much enjoyment out of this one either. It's essentially just an interactive queue, and I guess there are a couple decent sightlines of the park at the top of the treehouse, and some of the movie scenes are kinda cool to see in person once or twice, but there's just not a lot of value in redoing this attraction on follow-up visits to the park because it's just always the same exact thing every time. I know there are some people who stand by the Swiss Family Treehouse as one of the best attractions, as like a cult classic, but for the general Disney audience, you may just want to stay away from this one. There's already enough walking and standing around in queues for your entire trip already. Why force yourself to go through even more? Am I right? Driving over to Tomorrowland for our number 1 worst attraction in the Magic Kingdom, where we'll be able to take a spin on the appropriately titled Tomorrowland Speedway. And right off the bat, the main problem with this ride is how outdated it is. Similar to the Swiss Family Treehouse, Tomorrowland Speedway has been in the park since opening day. However, it has gone through quite a few changes and overhauls to get to the point it's at now, which is still outdated and doesn't belong at Tomorrowland. Anyway, with a 3-minute and 50-second ride time, thanks to the Tron coaster taking up about half the space the Speedway used to occupy, this is just one lackluster attraction. From the awkward speed the ride goes at, to the fumes stinking up the park, to the ride carts sitting on a track instead of just being go-karts, there is just nothing positive to say about this one, especially because of the ride being cut in half. At least before I could have said it was a nice little drive to get your head out of the parks for a while, but now it ends so quickly it's hardly worth the usual 45 to 55 minute wait it can easily garner, and I'm really not sure if this is worthy of a fast pass. In the end, I can see this maybe being a decent ride for an adult to take a child on just to enjoy some scenery together, but otherwise, I would advise everyone to just avoid this attraction like the plague until it's either completely overhauled or destroyed and turned into something way, way better. Keeping with the trend of attractions that opened alongside the park on October 1st, 1971, we'll be starting off our 3 best attractions in Liberty Square with the spirited tour of the legendary resting place of the 999 Happy Haunts themselves, the one and only Haunted Mansion. And I mean, what's there really to say about the Haunted Mansion that hasn't already been said a million times over? It's simply perfection. From the immersive set design of each and every inch of the mansion, to the animatronics that remain impressive to this day, from the moment you walk through the interactive queue, to the moment you're in the stretching room, till the moment you step foot in your Omnimover Doom buggy, there isn't 1 second you don't feel every ounce of Disney magic poured into this ride. The sights, sounds, and smells you'll experience here are just one of a kind. And the best thing is, just about anyone can enjoy this attraction, whether you're a horror fan, Disney fan, or a fan of how theme park rides work and the stories behind them. There's a little something for everyone within these walls. And you'd be crazy not to see it all for yourself as well on any trip to the Magic Kingdom. Whistling our way back over to Fantasyland, we'll stumble across the incredible 4D musical adventure, Mickey's PhilharMagic. Now, I actually had a really tough time choosing between this and the Carousel of Progress, which is also fantastic and also has a rich Disney history. But when I really thought about it, there's genuinely not one trip to the Magic Kingdom that I don't feel the urge to hop in Mickey's PhilharMagic. It's only a 12-minute show, so it's not taking up a ton of your day to sit down and watch it, and 9 out of 10 times you visit, this will be a walk-on attraction, so there's just no reason to turn it down. The story essentially has Mickey conducting a Philharmonic Orchestra performance, but while getting set up, Donald decides to try to don Mickey's sorcerer's hat, transporting him through a bunch of different Disney movies during some of the best Disney songs, like Be Our Guest from Beauty and the Beast, Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid, I Just Can't Wait to Be King from The Lion King, You Can Fly from Peter Pan, and A Whole New World from Aladdin, which are all songs that I actually listen to by myself at home, so seeing them all on the big screen with 4D elements like smells, water sprayers, and light effects to make them even more extraordinary is just an amazing feeling. I genuinely see Mickey's PhilharMagic as a staple of the Magic Kingdom, and really all Disney parks now that it's open in California Adventure as well, and it always brings me that overwhelming feeling of Disney nostalgia and magic from the second I enter till the second I exit towards the gift shop. And I still to this day see people's minds blown during this show, reaching out towards Ariel's 3D gems, sniffing loudly to smell the apple cider during Be Our Guest, and laughing hysterically as Donald is trapped in the Lion King segment alongside all the other animals. And if you somehow haven't given this show a shot by now, I promise it'll blow your mind too. Plunging over to Frontierland, we'll drift through the southern bayou alongside Brer Rabbit while he looks for his laughing place in the absolutely astounding Splash Mountain. That's right, after a ton of thought, Splash Mountain earns its place as the #1 best attraction at the Magic Kingdom easily. Just on the technical side alone, it should earn a spot. It features over 100 audio animatronics, 950,000 gallons of water, and a 50-foot drop as the cherry on top. Not to mention there's 4 other small drops throughout the ride, and they're all accompanied the entire time by the incredible music from Song of the South like Zippity Doo Dah and Everybody's Got a Laughin' Place. Also, Splash Mountain lasts 11 minutes and 45 seconds, so even if you're waiting 80 to 140 minutes regularly for this one, you'll still feel like it was easily worth it in the end. Throw in the gorgeous exterior and queue, the insanely immersive sets built throughout, and of course the sheer fact you're gonna get wet in 100-degree Florida weather, and you've got yourself an attraction you couldn't possibly turn down. I even think this is a good ride for younger audiences because as far as log flume rides go, this one is pretty tame, and it's a really good introduction to bigger coasters in my opinion. So no matter which way you look at it, Splash Mountain is just flawless for any person of any age, and there's not one Magic Kingdom vacation that should exist without a plunge down the one and only Chickapin Hill. Alrighty folks, that's gonna about wrap up the best and worst attractions at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, and share the video around. It'd mean a lot and help out a ton. Also, leave down in the comments what your favorite and least favorite attractions throughout the Magic Kingdom are so we can start a conversation down there. And finally, one last thing before we go. If you'd like to support the channel and myself as closely as possible while earning a free shoutout in the process, maybe consider heading over to my Ko-Fi page where you guys can help buy me a Mickey bar for as low as $3 at a time, so we can build towards a better future here on the Silver Stix channel. But anyway gang, with all that out of the way, this is Silver Stix signing out. I hope you have a great rest of your day, theme park fans. Peace.